For a second or two, I couldn't hear or see anyone or anything. You could say the world faded away, both light and sound. I had suspected this for a long time, that this illness would strike sooner or later. And alas, it seemed what I had dreaded for years had finally arrived on my doorstep. My daughter laid sick on her little bed, eyes half closed. The one she spent her first night as a child in, and every other night since then, clinging to life by a threadbare string. Her mother sat at the foot of the bed, sunset rays pouring through the window, casting a large yellow rectangle on the wooden floor. The satin looked lovely, but the faces in the room said otherwise. I asked the servants to step outside. I couldn't tell who was sadder, me or my wife. Money can't buy health. If it could, I would have bought it ages ago. Spirits can drive illnesses away. If they could, my daughter would be healthy, smiling at my side. We had tried everything. It seemed only right to give my wife and daughter the honor of spending this last few minutes with them. I could tell the end was near. If we could close our eyes and never open them again, I know my wife and I would sign that contract. Wouldn't hesitate to. It was at that moment it struck me. The thought hit so hard. The noise in my head ceased. There was news of a man, the Son of Man, they called him, who had just come into town and was visiting the synagogue every day. He healed the sick and cast out devils, even on Sabbath day, I heard. Just as it were, I heard a loud noise outside my house, and I could hear a faint chanting. Jesus, Jesus. Immediately I stood up and made for the door. I didn't tell my wife where I was going. This needed no wasting of time. Hopefully, I'd come back with good news. I rushed outside, startling the people waiting outside for the announcement, waiting for the death notice. I didn't even bother to wear my sandals. I jumped onto the street to join the crowd to go see this Jesus. I bumped into someone just as I jumped and almost knocked him to the ground. I helped him stand back up. I dusted his robes with my hand while muttering how sorry I was. Right before I raised my head to look at him, I heard a familiar voice call out to me from my door. Your daughter is dead. Don't trouble the master, the voice said. My heart dropped. Then I heard another voice, unfamiliar but comforting, sounding like warmth I had known since birth. The voice said, do not be afraid, only believe. It was then I looked into his face, and then his eyes. I gasped. I don't know if I was the only one who saw it, but in his eyes I could see my daughter walking again, hale and hearty. I could see myself telling others about him, I could see myself growing old talking about him. I could see myself walking towards a man made of light, sitting on a throne. I didn't know, and I said, Lord, if thou hast said it,